So, introduce yourself, what type of music you do, what you do, all of that stuff.
All right. Yes, I am Emil Gayles. I'm a house underground producer, um, deep house, electronic, if you say, what I'm saying, depends on what genre that you would like to fit it in, you
Okay.
know. Um, what I DJ. Um, and I've been in the scene for actually, I want to say maybe over 10 years now.
Okay.
I started off more of a dancer and then got into producing first. Later on, started DJing actually learning how to DJ.
Okay.
But yeah, so and I could say, what I'm saying, as far as like the guys that that actually taught me was first my as far as producing and DJing, this guy named Greg Marcel G Marcells. His
Okay.
name is Greg, yeah, but he used to play on KKC
Hmm.
back in the day. Yeah, and then I used to have then Paul Johnson, rest his soul, what I'm saying, before he even
Right.
became a producer and everything. And after that, I was met through Greg to by Gene Hunt, what I'm
Okay.
saying, meeting up with Gene Hunt, yeah, Gene and Glenn Underground. I already knew this guy named Boo Williams because we pretty much grew up together. But I knew Boo was at that time when I was younger, I didn't know he was a DJ,
Okay.
or a producer, until like later on, so and man, the journey that journey has been, I want to say, progressing up until now,
Okay.
saying
Let's backtrack. You said you ain't never told me this. You started out in dancing. Hold on. Let's go
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Let's go back. Let's go back. I know that shit. Let's go back.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was a dancer before, what I'm saying, before all this, because I always was going to the parties, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So yeah, yeah. So yeah,
So
it
where
was
was the okay, so okay. Native of
matter.
Chicago,
Okay,
correct? Native
okay,
of
okay.
Chicago.
You're right. So
Okay.
the first club the first party that I went to when I was young was Hummingbird.
Okay. Where was it at?
Hummingbird was on like 80, I want to say like 86, yeah, about like 86 in Ashland.
Okay.
Before you get like, yeah, not that far off of 87th Street.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
And wait a minute, did you have like a dancing crew and all that stuff?
No, no, I wasn't part of no dancing crew. No, I
Okay.
mean, as far as when we used to break dance and stuff, it
Right.
was like my sister and a friend that used to stay down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We used to break, what I'm saying, when breaking was out in, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yep. So yeah. Oh, you know what? When I was in, now I'm gonna take the, you know what? No, when I was in high school, now I was in the dance crew. We was called it was called a real something. Oh,
I'm taking
I,
you back now.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You really trying to pick my brain on that one. Oh, shoot. It was called the Real Dogs. Yeah, it was
Okay.
called the Real Dogs. Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, we used to wear back then. They used to have the Kumo D T-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to have the
Yeah.
Kumo
Okay.
T-shirts with our names on the back of them and everything. So yeah, I was part of a dance crew. Yeah, I was part of a dance
And then
crew.
what high school did you go to?
Callers.
Okay.
Yeah. Trojans,
Yeah.
the mighty Trojans, yeah, black and
Okay.
gold all day.
Okay, so you switched from the dances, and then so what was it about the DJing and stuff that got you interested?
Um, I was always into the music, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? I was always around it. Plus, you know what I'm saying, growing up, you know what I'm saying, my father was always into like all that the stereo equipment and all that type of stuff. And
Okay.
Yeah, and he was a disco head, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So yeah, a lot of the stuff that they play now, you know what I'm saying, what back then was
Discovery
I'm
records and stuff.
yeah, it was on records, it was on wax, it was on you know what I'm saying, reel to reel cassette tapes, eight
Yeah.
track of tape, you know what I'm saying, eight
Yeah.
track tapes. Yeah, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so
So when
uh
you first got into it, did you like go to like Dr. Wax and them and start
no, you
looking
know
at the
what?
records and stuff?
No, I never collected records like that.
Okay.
My, I'm gonna say my only hit at that time, I had 10 City, I had Fast Eddie, I had Tyree Cooper, I had Rhythm is Rhythm. Trying to think, is that it? Yeah, that was it as far as like the records that I really, you know what I'm saying, started collecting at the time, you know what I'm saying? But I had broke away. You know what I'm saying? I had left the scene for a minute,
Okay.
you know. Yeah, and branched off into, you know what I'm saying, how hip hop here came about and you know what I'm saying, it took over and got into that. But when I got back from because I used to live in Champaign, so when I got back
Okay.
from Champaign from college and everything, that's when I got back into the house scene. Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
let me ask you this. So I know that there are various different sects of house music. So you have the East Coast sect, Baltimore, New York, Chicago, I think Philly does it. So what separates Chicago's house music from all others? And
I
let's get
mean,
into it. Let's get into it.
okay. Now, to be honest, what separated we the Mecca,
Okay.
you know, and it's so much of honestly, it's so much of Chicago and South Africa. You
Okay.
know, we are the two meccas, you know what I'm saying, of house music, you know, of creating, you know what I'm saying, the genre of that dance music, you know,
Okay.
consider it saying house music. But
Gotcha.
mainly, you know what I'm saying, yeah, but Chicago, we're the creators of the house, if they so-called will say
Yeah.
house music, you know, so because of the beat machines, you know what I'm saying, and it was produced in somebody, you know what I'm saying, you produced it in the basement, not in no, you know what I'm saying, no actual studio facility, stuff like that. You
Okay.
know, people was going out uh buying drum machines and you know samplers and all that instruments to, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, to create these, you know what I'm saying, these type of beats that they, you know what I'm saying, they felt inside their body to make, you know, because I mean, you have to wanna, you have to have that creative mind and have that type
Right.
of
Right.
mindset to even, you know what I'm saying, produce something, you know, musically, you know, or you've been musically inclined throughout your parents, you know what I'm saying, from uh the what they call it, it's been passed down to you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, being around it, so you just naturally pick it up.
Pick it up. So do you play any instruments or
Well,
anything?
I used to play the piano.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was young, I played the piano. I used to know how to read the music. You know, and then I actually went back to refreshing my memory of, you know what I'm saying, of it because I, like I said, I was young. So I was, you know what I'm saying, I was around music. So, you know, and my thing was at the time, I wanted to play drums.
Okay.
You know, my father, it was more my father was pressing the issue about playing the piano because he was like, well, that's where the starting point is at the piano. So once you learn the piano, you can learn any instrument that, you know what I'm saying, that's out there. So,
Okay.
you know, yeah.
So were you in the band or anything in high school?
No, actually, no, I didn't have. I actually no. I wanted to do band, but I didn't get into it. I didn't. I
Okay.
didn't sign up for band. Yeah, I went a different route when it came to high school. It was more of me be uh more like construction type work.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. I got into that. Yeah, like the trade. I got into trade when I was in high school. Yep. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, so take me back to the first time that you heard heard, not played it, but heard house
Heard
music?
house music.
Yeah.
Oh, no, come on. That was DMX. On the radio. No, that was honestly that was like the Hogman's Five. That was Farley and them guys,
Mhm.
when I first heard it, then I used to record on honestly, yeah, on Sundays. I used to when we because we used to go to church early in the morning, but we'd come back home. If we come back home for the afternoon, you have to hurry up and record the KKC because they used to play all the tracks on KKC, you know what I'm saying? So I hurry up, record them, you know what I'm saying, to have them. Actually, I still got like old tapes,
Are
you
you
know.
serious?
Yes, I still got my old BMX tapes. Yeah,
Shut up.
the original KKC when they first brought out when Ron Trentford out first brought out Ultra States.
Nigga, you dating yourself. You dating your
Yeah,
ass.
yeah,
I said you dating your ass.
yeah, right, right. Yeah,
So, of
so
all the different musics, that's out there, whatever, what is it about house music that just like gets in your soul?
for me, honestly, it's more the newer music, you know. Because for me, music changes every day.
Yeah.
Music don't stay the same because you have to think about it. The day and age when, what I'm saying, when machines, those type of machines were produced up until now, what I'm saying, those machines has improved. It has,
Right.
yeah. So it's like the first MPC, what I'm saying, back at that time compared to the new MPC now, you could do way more, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So it's like, how can you stay in that day of age where you still producing music off the very first MPC?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on now.
But does the
Uh,
sound, I know with the new technology, it has like advanced and it sounds more crisp and stuff like that. But the nostalgia from the old machine, ever get you that you be like, I gotta go to that old sound for a little bit though?
no,
You like,
no,
no.
no. No, not as far as using that. Not I would say, as far as some of the drums you make,
Hmm.
but as far as like anything else, like it depends on whatever style you're trying to do.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, some, but not me. Some, what I'm saying, will prefer that type of sound. But to me, it's like you could act when you hear it, you could actually distinguish if it sounds new or old
Okay.
because it gives you that feel. You would
Hmm.
know it, what I'm saying, if you was part of, what I'm saying, creating, what I'm saying. So you could distinguish, what I'm saying, something newer than, what I'm saying, than old when it comes to actually using those type of, what I'm saying, those type of sounds. You'd be like, okay, yeah, I hear what they using. Oh yeah, we knew what that was. What I'm
Right.
saying, you could call it out, yeah, because you'll know that, what I'm saying, that type of sound. So yeah,
Mhm.
you can't tell when it's old to new.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we was to say new school versus old school in terms of some of your favorites, give me some old school and give me some new school.
As far as what
The
oh
sound,
it's
you like what they doing. You like what they doing.
well, the ones that's doing the old school, they don't do it anymore. They don't make any old school anymore. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? As far as music. Some made new, well, some have made new, and some don't do it all. So I call them fossils. The old fossils have they have put up there.
They have buried themselves.
Yeah, they buried themselves, right? So they don't do it anymore like they used to.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but Uh,
So give me some new school sounds. Who's out there that you like what they doing currently?
that's just from Chicago or just anywhere.
Um, Say from Chicago and then some that's more on a global level.
Well, global level, that'll be honestly that's global. That's Glenn all day.
Okay.
Glenn, yeah, that's Glenn all day. He's very global. Uh, Bull is global. Um, the Chicago. Hmm, that's a good one.
We'll
That's
come back to that question. We'll come back.
yeah. It's just
Okay.
honestly, it's just those two. This
Okay.
off. You know what I'm saying? That's offhand as far as you know what I'm saying that I know that's been, you know what I'm saying, that's been really recently doing stuff. You know,
Okay.
like I said, you have your fossils that doesn't do, you
Right.
know, that was in the scene, doesn't do it like, you know what I'm saying, as far as on that type of scale back then, even I would say even Lil Lewis, you know what I'm saying, he has made stuff and it's kind of and to me he was he disappointed me, you know what I'm saying, because I was expecting something, you know what I'm saying, some sounds that he created and it never reached, you know what I'm saying, reached out to the scene and it's like where, you know what I'm saying, where's this production that, you know what I'm saying, when I was actually told physically to my face, you know what I'm saying? And to me it's you know what I'm saying it's more heartfelt because I look at that man, you know what I'm saying, as one of the staples, you
Okay.
know, and you know what I'm saying, and a major icon, and you know what I'm saying, and you start producing, you know what I'm saying, music, and you have this such impact on, you know what I'm saying, uh on our generation, you know what I'm saying, as far as that scene and and to be like a producer, DJ, you know what I'm saying, and we're looking for your sound to continue and you know what I'm saying, and you say what you was gonna do and it didn't fall through. It's a
Okay.
very yes. I honestly I took that to heart because that was my guy. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I know Lewis, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say worship nobody,
Mm-hmm.
but to actually look upon, you know what I'm
You
saying, is this
admired his work.
yeah, I admire his work and he's one that, you know what I'm saying, that people just throw up under the rug, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and says and want to discredit this man
Mm-hmm.
for, you know what I'm saying, for some of the work that he's done, and he's really a big staple, you know, as far as you know, saying the house scene uh being established in Chicago. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And it's sad that a lot of these people that has, you know what I'm saying, done their work and made things happen here in Chicago doesn't get they just due. And
Right.
you know, uh and it's time for it to it's time for it to stop. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
should be it should be in the front, you know what I'm saying, the forefront, you know, and as far as like the scene in Chicago is my goodness. It's like drop. It's I mean, everybody say we spoil. They will say we spoil
Yeah.
because you could party every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, yeah, we have that. But the thing is, what about the music?
Right.
First, it's all about the music.
Right.
If it's so much all about the music, why is not, you know what I'm saying? Why is not expanding like it's supposed to if it's
Mm-hmm.
about the music? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Mainly it's more about who's DJ, you know what I'm saying, who's the DJ and all this and all that. No, it's supposed to be about the music per se.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
right.
So no, I thank you again, sir. It's been wonderful as always, talking and shooting the shit with your crazy ass. But let me